Hello, everybody. Zongetsu134 here.
I'm Average Joe Squad.
I'm Brian.
Our special guest star tonight.
Welcome to another episode of Remember the Hyphen, the show where we look at comic books, movies, and everything in between. And so, tonight we're going to finally, basically cross one off the list. So,
We have a list of 70 shitty superhero movies.
yeah, so when me and Colton were doing, basically, after, the first, half of season one, we were like, all right, we gotta, go through a list of what we want to do. And so we just kept writing down all these fucking awful movies.
Billy Zane the Phantom.
Billy Zane the Phantom. We're gonna do Alec Baldwin's The Shadow. Although I've heard
70s Doc Strange.
70s Doctor Strange and 70s Captain America. Oh my fucking god. Why can't we be doing this Captain America right now? I have this because I want to show Colton it.
Because he doesn't have a movie.
Okay, fair. But he has a TV show. It's just as good.
No, I know.
But, shit, I was going with this. Oh, yeah. And so we've already done one of them this year with Howard the Duck. What other bad movies have we done? I guess we've done Batman and Robin technically with...
Dark Phoenix.
Yeah, well, we didn't know that was going to be a bad one going in.
I mean, I kind of did.
Well, I mean, I kind of did. Okay. I didn't think it was going to be as much of a shit fest as I thought it was when we
Birds
went
of Prey.
You know.
I want us to review Green Lantern.
To be fair, though, you went into that one a little bit more hopeful than me with Birds of Prey, but that's mostly because I was just like, oh, yeah.
Obviously, we got to do Blade Trinity at some point.
Motherfucker, I like that. But so we're doing one that's been like a year in the making because Adam has borrowed this DVD from Colton and didn't want to watch it for a very long time.
And it just got to the point where it's like, I want my fucking DVD back.
Yeah.
Just watch the film and give me my DVD back.
He says, despite having my copy of The Crossing for like a year.
Motherfucker, you even admitted to me you haven't read the whole thing. Shut up. You haven't even read the whole thing.
Why do I need to read the whole thing? It's incomprehensible. And so, but anyway. So now tonight we're finally rectifying an old sin, in a sense. Let's talk about Ang Lee's The Hulk. So Brian, why don't you talk about kind of like your feelings on the subject and why you wanted to be in this review as a...
Because I think you have probably the most experience with this film more than anybody, especially because I've only seen it twice.
Yeah. So I'm a huge Hulk fan. He's within my top 5 favorite characters.
So you have him tattooed on you too, don't you?
Yeah, I do have a Hulk tattoo on my arm. I just like everything about him, like the fact that, Bruce Banner just happenstance just was able to turn into a superhero, and it wasn't like Tony, where Tony had the access to everything. I mean, after the cave, obviously, but Cap kind of got blessed into getting the super soldier serum. Everybody else was kind of just trained into that, or they were just born with powers and stuff like that, and just everything about the character was just really cool. It was my first superhero movie I'd seen, I think, because
You saw this in the theater?
yeah, I did.
So you saw this in the you didn't? Did you see Raimi, the first one?
No,
Okay,
I didn't see that until
until it came out on tape, right?
until it came out on tape.
This is your first superhero movie you saw in the theater.
Yeah.
You poor bastard.
Poor son of a
Well,
bitch.
the crazy part was
the first one I saw was Raimi.
I thought it was so good at the time, because I was like,
I remember that because
You sound like you got a little I like this a term I didn't coin, but I love the term. It's called being phantom menaced.
yeah,
Where you went into this movie with such high hopes. It was bad, but you're you wanted it to be good so bad you didn't care.
yeah, just being so young.
Well, then being so young
it was
too.
just it was just a movie at that point.
Yeah.
It wasn't like now where
because I remember because me and Brian grew up together. We rode the bus together. We went to school together, starting in first grade. Was it? And I remember us talking about this movie, or you talking to me about it, because I hadn't seen it.
Mm-hmm.
I had gone and seen the first Raimi movie.
Yeah.
And but I remember I specifically remember you talking about the dogs, man.
Yeah.
The dogs that are in it. Wow, so all the streetlights just went out and came back on.
Weird.
That was weird, but yeah. I remember you talking about the dogs in this a couple times on the bus. I remember
when I was
that.
younger, I thought that just seemed like the coolest thing was just these giant hulked out versions of you know, man's best friend type deal. And then now it's just kind of like,
Why?
why, how, you know, it's just, now that we're at a more mature age, like, we can actually look at things and just be like, that probably wasn't the best idea, but kind of works.
Yeah.
That in my opinion, that summarizes a lot of this movie. Like, there was a lot of bad decisions.
Yeah.
Which I feel bad, because, like, I know people who will tell me that, like, Ang Lee's a great director.
Mm-hmm. After
Watching this, I was just like, what were you doing here?
Which I have a couple thoughts on the cinematography when we get into it, but when did you see this movie first, Adam?
I remember seeing it when, like, I think it was like a couple, like, you know, the last couple days of the school year, you know, when teachers just put on movies.
Oh, so you watched this in school too, then?
Yeah,
That was when I first saw it.
Watching it in a science class, which
Makes sense.
I remember even though granted I was like 14.
Yeah.
So, like, when I seen this has been just after I'd watched the Raimi films, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be really good. And I remember liking parts of it when I watched it.
Mm-hmm.
Particularly like the scene with the jet where they drag the Hulk up into the atmosphere to knock him out.
Yeah.
And, like, I like the scene where, like, you know, Banner's in his mind, he wipes the fog away. I kind of like that. And, you know, Hulk's there and he's wiping the foam away too. But, like, I just remember watching the end of this movie and I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, it's just...
Like, what's with this weird old dude biting the electric wire and it's dark and hard to see?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I remember I had car problems last night, and, like, I went home and I watched this, and I was up till like 4 in the morning. I think I remember texting you being like, when does this fucking thing end?
I remember.
Because I'm like, dude, it's like 3:30 in the morning. Like, fucking holy hell. End of the movie
this
already.
movie's like, I think 2:10, I think. I can't even remember.
It's like 2 hours and like 18 minutes. And, like, I actually, because I had it on my PlayStation, I pulled up the PlayStation. I'm like, because I was getting ready to, like, shut it off and go to bed, be like, fuck it, I'll read the Wikipedia article.
Yeah.
Then I was like, oh, you only have like 18 minutes. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I'll finish it then. And then, like, when it wasn't even a full 18 minutes because they're including the credits.
I think they probably could have done it in an hour and a half.
Yeah, like, I
mean, 2 hours even.
Would that be a fair thing to say? Is that all three of us agree, like, the editing on this, they could have trimmed it a little bit?
Yeah, I think they, like, being that it was one of the first superhero movies before the MCU was even a thought. You know, 4 years before Iron Man came out, you know, we dabbled with Blade, Howard the Duck, Spider-Man, all the previous movies. Like, they really dove into, like, the comic book theme with the panels and stuff like that within the movie. And I think without this, we wouldn't have gotten what we got out of Iron Man, Incredible Hulk, you know, and the beginnings of the MCU.
Yeah.
So, like, we kind of needed this bad thing to, you know, have the greatness of what Marvel has become.
Like, they basically kind of learned from it.
Yeah.
I think that is definitely true. Like,
that, and, like, it also opened up the legal right issue with Universal owning,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because I think
owning Hulk and that whole slew of worms.
I think the only two characters that Marvel doesn't own in-house with Disney is... Oh, there's 3?
Spidey.
Yeah, I was going to say Spidey. Hulk.
Namor. Namor is owned by Universal. That's what I said when I found out. I was like, what the fuck?
Who's like, I want a Namor.
They were going to make a Namor movie at one point. I'm just like, that is the most random ass thing.
Well,
like that makes less sense than doing like a fucking Aquaman movie. Like, who the fuck knows Namor outside of like comic book guys? Like, the only time I know about Namor is when he's trying to fuck Sue Storm.
I was about to say when he's trying to bang Sue Storm. That's like one of the few times I can think of offhand when he shows up, because they've done it so fucking often.
But at the same time, they've, like, hinted at Namor in the MCU multiple times.
Well, probably because the Universal's like, you know what, you want this so bad?
Yeah.
Fucking have it.
Yeah.
I don't know why they want Hulk so bad.
The legal rights just make it so much harder to do. And
of course, Universal, like, they're so weird, because, like, I was watching a video today, like, there's a reason why, like, King Kong can't be any Godzilla films, because Universal owns the right to him, and they're just like, no.
Yeah, they just totally said fuck that when Legendary started making the films.
Yeah, because there's a game for the PS3 for Godzilla.
Yeah.
That got remade for PS4, and they actually added more characters to it when they did it.
Yeah.
And they were doing things like they were making like 50s Godzilla, and they had like a black and white level where you play as like the 50s movie.
Yeah.
And they wanted to put King Kong in there, you know, because like Godzilla versus King Kong is like the third film.
And Universal basically said no.
Yeah, the Universal is like, fuck you. I'm not doing that. And actually, it's kind of the start of the whole battle Legendaries had just to get Kong in the Godzilla films.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, what are you fucking doing with Kong? You're doing fucking jack shit.
Well, it's like I told you, they're just sitting on it because they're kind of like. It's kind of like what Disney does with some stuff, where it's basically like, no, fuck you. If I'm not making the money, nobody's gonna make the money.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I get some of the legal problems there. Well, sorry I derailed us because I forgot where we were at before.
I forget.
Paving the way for superhero film.
Did the VHS for this, was it a green tape?
It was.
Was it?
Yeah.
I was trying to think. There's only a few tapes I know that were like weird colors. I thought this was one of them. I couldn't remember.
Because I think this came out just around that time VHS kind of stopped being a thing.
When was this? 03?
Yeah, 03.
03,
06 was really when it stopped because Spider-Man 2's on tape.
I
towards the later years of the VHS.
DVD by that point had really started to kind of take off.
Honestly, I actually can kind of see like, because I always feel like DC is like 10 years behind Marvel. And
he's saying they're going to put Batman v Superman on a VHS tape?
No, I meant more because like this movie has a lot of the problems I have with like the DC universe, where it's like we're trying to be artsy because Superman's an allegory for Jesus, despite the fact he was made by two Jewish dudes in 1938.
Yeah.
Like,
before we really dig into it, like I just want to say this too, because I brought this up today with Jared when we were talking about the cinematography for this. I was getting fucking mad at this movie because I was like, stop putting other shit in the boxes. It's fucking throwing me off.
But it looks like a comic book.
I don't give a shit. It looks dumb.
No, I agree with you. Like that scene.
Like for me, I'm like, I brought this up to Jared. I was like, it ruins the illusion of that I'm watching a fucking movie.
Yeah.
By doing that, and not to mention, as someone with like ADHD, that was driving me off the fucking wall.
You can't even focus on.
Well, as someone who
I was like, what am I supposed to be looking at here?
As someone who's done film work himself, like it totally takes away
like
the
a
whole
cardinal
idea.
sin of doing it.
It takes the whole way of like sequential storytelling.
Yeah.
Because like probably the one that pissed me off the most was when that guy that's like trying to get Betty to work for the government, when he talks to Bruce and like threatens him and leaves. You have the shot where he looks at Betty from the window, and they put the panel of Betty.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck?
Just fucking put them in sequence. My God.
Yeah,
like this movie is so long just because you have to see every shot from like every angle.
Yeah.
Like I'm watching a fucking rough cut.
Yeah.
It's like watching the work print for Apocalypse Now, where like
God, this movie's so long.
With the 4 fucking hours of just the helicopter scenes.
Could you imagine a rough cut of this with how many shots they shot?
There might actually be a work print of this somewhere.
Well, you can find work prints fucking anywhere. I know like Pat the NES Punk has a work print of Highlander Endgame because he's obsessed with that film.
I mean, there's footage from the Raimi films of Peter having web shooters before they switched it.
Yeah.
Which is... And then there's obviously like that Twin Towers sequence they cut out of it.
I always find that part really weird because like they follow James Cameron's idea so to the letter aside from like Green Goblin. Like I kind of was surprised they even shot him with the mechanical web shooters, but no, the cinematography in this was so abysmal, and especially because like the others that really got me was like they would like show a scene and then they would put in part of the scene and you would have it like fade out. I'm like, what is that?
Yeah.
Like, is this supposed to be like I'm turning a page? Like Ang Lee really got way too literal with this fucking film. Like, well, it's a comic book movie, so I gotta make it look like a comic book.
This is why nobody likes fucking film directors, because you guys do stupid shit like this and think it's cool.
I will admit, I did like the.
This is why nobody likes you guys.
I like the effect he did for like the gamma radiation, like when Bruce gets irradiated. That was kind of cool.
I liked it. It looked really early 2000s.
It did look really early 2000s.
I was like watching this on like, cause it's like 3 a.m. I'm sitting right in front of my fucking 70-inch plasma with the HDMI, and I'm sitting in my gaming chair with a fucking blanket wrapped around my head, so I'm just watching it. And I'm just like, that looks really dated.
Dude,
like even like some of the CG in this, and like I was trying to be really forgiving because it's early 2000s.
Yeah.
The CG in this just looked There were parts where I was like, yo, like this is like a year or two after Raimi.
Yeah.
And the Raimi CGI looked better.
Which just says something, because I love the Raimi films, but some of the CGI shots are a little dated in that.
A couple of them are. And like
the parade scene.
Like a lot of the time they look really, really good. Whereas with this, like it's kind of the same deal. There were a lot of scenes where like it looked really great.
Like Hulk looks really good. I
remember the first time he hulked out, just looking like that CGI looks fake as fuck. I was like,
but like when he's like moving, he looks real.
Yeah.
Once they get into the movie, it starts looking a lot better. But that first shot, I was like, this looks so fucking bad.
Well, I like the effect when his dad becomes the absorbing man.
Yeah.
And his hand gets stuck in the chair. I thought that was really well done.
The one with the blood, I was like, that looks.
Well, no, that was bad. But like
I
like when he was like
bad.
he actually like was fused with the chair. I thought that looked really good.
That looked good.
But no, the blood thing, that looked really bad. And the whole ending fight is just. It's shot all in the
What fucking fight? There was no fight. I was all geared up for a fucking fight, and then I got nothing.
Yeah.
I
got Tasm-tooed. I got rhinoed.
It looks really bad because it's all shot in the dark.
Yeah.
So you can't see half of it. I actually had to turn all the lights off in the room I was watching it and put the I had to
Oh man, you fan force stick. You turned the brightness all the way up.
I almost did, but like it was that hard to fucking see. I was like, what the fuck is going on in this? Mm-hmm. That Nick Nolte's voiceover in that is so. I couldn't tell what he was saying half the time.
Yeah, it wasn't that great, and it just doesn't make any sense because there's no progression of Hulk's powers as far
because Hulk half the time is really powerful, and then sometimes he gets stopped by foam.
Yeah.
But foam.
Yeah. Well, not only that, this is the first backstory apart from the 70s stuff that we've seen. And even then, being as young as I was when I saw it, I wasn't into the 70s stuff at the time. It wasn't when our parents were growing up type deal where they saw the older stuff.
Yeah.
But it's just looking back at it now and rewatching it, there's just no true progression as far as oh hey, this is the movie literally starts with him turning into the Hulk.
Yeah.
And then it ends not even a month. It's a couple a week.
Well, it's funny you mention that because I remember a lot of people, one of the biggest complaints I had for this film was it's not like the TV show.
Really?
Yeah, because I remember I used to watch this old show called I'm a Marvel, I'm a DC.
Because you were a little older than us, so you probably remember a little bit more of what was going on.
Because it was this amazing sketch comedy. This dude would get action figures of the characters, and he would always do I'm a Marvel, I'm a DC, the old I'm a Mac, I'm a PC commercials. Yeah. And one of them was Batman and Hulk because Batman Begins and Hulk had happened, and basically Hulk was feeling down because his film did really bad, but Batman Begins did really well. And it was because they were basically kind of the opposites of each other. Because one of the bigger complaints with Batman and Robin originally was it's too much like the Adam West show. And so Hulk goes...
that was that period where it still wasn't okay to really like the 60s show. Where I feel now we've talked about it. It's kind of done a 180 where it's okay to like the 60s Batman show now.
My favorite joke in that is basically Batman's Hulk is not enough like old TV show, and then Batman goes too much like old TV show.
Yes.
But it really kind of hit
comic book fans are never happy.
Well, and to be fair though, I kind of disagree. I would like the movies to be like the TV show because for one, they couldn't call him Bruce in that because apparently they thought Bruce sounded too gay. They had to change his name to David in that because literally they thought his name was too gay. Although I think more it was supposed to be because when the 60s Adam West show came out, there's a lot of people who reinvigorated the whole Batman and Robin are gay thing from the old hearings about Batman and Robin.
Which he's aware of that too, because I loaned him my thesis.
So yeah, the seduction of the innocent trial. I couldn't think of what the name was before.
Oh, but our good old buddy Frederick Worthram.
Which also confused the shit out of me because I know very little about the Hulk. So when they kept calling his dad David, I'm like, so they named his dad after the TV show Hulk?
Oh yeah, no, that
what?
was his name.
Because, like, I know at one point Hulk eventually does kill his dad.
It's a reference.
Well, no, I think actually they did, like, because I don't think they ever gave his dad a name, so they're just like, well, name him David, like the TV show. Because, like, well, for a long time, like, Kingpin and Vulture didn't have real names in the comics. They were just Vulture and the Kingpin.
Yeah.
It took them until, like, the 80s to give them actual names. So, but, like, but yeah, like, like Hulk is so fucking weak in this in certain points, like the foam scene, or like the fact that like when they pull him in the atmosphere, he goes unconscious. I'm like, I actually don't think Hulk would actually be able to be like snuffed out like that.
No, at least like it would have taken him a lot.
Yeah, it would have taken a lot
Like,
longer than that jet could have.
He would have had to have actually left the atmosphere.
No,
completely.
yeah, because like Hulk is a strong motherfucker. Like even like when he's not like world breaker Hulk. Like dude can go like toe to toe with Thor.
I mean, he's fucking gone toe to toe with Wolverine.
Well, I only say Thor because like Thor was actually created by Stan Lee because he's like, I need something that could defeat the Hulk.
Yeah.
So he made Thor.
Yeah.
Although that his fight with Wolverine's really good. I actually love that.
Because we keep going back to it, like oh, who would win? It's like,
well, it would obviously be Hulk. Like, I'm sorry, I love Wolverine, but like, Hulk literally cannot die.
There's just so many.
Like he's been shot in the head with a gamma arrow, and it didn't kill him.
I'm feeling outnumbered now because I'm on the Wolverine side of the fence.
There's just so many.
There's variables to it.
There's so many variables, and like there's the Hulk versus like the animated short where it's kind of like a draw.
Yeah.
And then there's the comics where Hulk beats Wolverine. Then there's the one where Wolverine kills Hulk, and then there's the like the Old Man Logan series with like the.
Oh my god.
Redneck Hulks.
Yeah, I guess Hulk like fucked all these women and they're like hillbillies.
And then like Hulk eats Wolverine, but then Wolverine kills him because he like regenerates inside of Hulk's stomach and
then
like,
cuts his way out.
Cuts his way out. So
my favorite version of evil Hulk is my favorite evil version of Hulk is the Maestro.
Yeah.
I only know that because like he's like a big villain for Spider-Man 2099. Like him and Maestro have like
he's in the Avengers PS4 game too now because he's DLC.
Yeah. I did see that.
I haven't played that yet. So,
but like in always future Hulk, they always have like Hulk be like an old pervert who just bangs concubines and shit all the time. I'm always like,
where's this coming from?
I don't know. It's like how in the Ultimates, like Wasp managed to trick Hulk into following her by flashing him her tits. It gives Hulk horniest there is.
Oh, it's that, or it's not Wasp like shaming Cap because like how could you not know that Wanda and Pietro are fucking?
And we have no problem with that.
Yeah,
you're just stuck in your own ways, Cap. I was alive in 1940. Like, let me tell you, we didn't have we had problems with incest there too. Like,
that whole thing is
now
like,
go put on a shirt that doesn't expose your top.
Burn that fucking run, please, because like that shit's
fuck Mark. Or Mark
I loved that when WandaVision was a thing. There were memes of that coming out. I was like, oh, these are fucking great.
I had a brother. He died. You were fucking
weren't you?
What did you say? But all right, let's talk about the cast a little bit because I will admit there are some decent actors.
Because I actually brought up the wiki to get the names.
Oh, thank God, because I don't know like half
there's actually some interesting info on the wiki page about the actors, which I don't think we all might not know actually. Yeah. So you got and I'm gonna butcher names. I apologize in advance.
Eric Bana was
Eric Bana. Is that it is Bana?
Yeah.
Okay.
Honestly, I think I kind of like him the most out of all the Hulk actors for Hulk. I think he does a good job.
I feel like he was just thrown into a bat. Like it's just one of those things where like I think he's a good actor, except he was just thrown.
He's just
into
not right for the role.
Yeah.
Well, like according to Wiki, and obviously take it with a grain of salt. Wiki. I mean, it does have citations though, so that does help. He was he at the same time he was in contention for Ghost Rider, but lost out to Nick Cage.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, great. I like Nick Cage. I like Nick Cage. I'm actually all for them bringing Nick Cage back.
Well, I think he would have fit more for that younger Ghost Rider they were going for in that film because
Billy Crudup also turned down the role. Johnny Depp and Steve Buscemi were also reportedly in consideration for this lead. Edward Norton, who went on to play Bruce in The Incredible Hulk, also expressed interest but turned it down as he was disappointed with the script.
That's probably fair.
I mean, the only other actor
I don't think Incredible Hulk's much better at points, but
yeah.
I mean, it's better than this, but it doesn't say.
But
it doesn't say much.
Well, it's just Iron Man 1 again for the most part. Like
Yeah.
Like every MCU origin story, you like Iron
Yeah.
Man 1? You're gonna see
We're doing it again.
Yeah.
Oh, here he is. Here's the final fight where the main character fights an evil version of themselves.
Well, at least with like.
Well, admittedly, I like the one in Ant-Man because I love that yellow jacket.
Oh,
Dude, I like how they kind of invert it in Captain Marvel, where there's really no big fight. Carol just fucking
Yeah.
blasts him.
Well, and that's like I was briefly talking to my dad about it today, and I was like, I kind of treat Hulk almost as like a prequel film for the Incredible Hulk, because the way that Hulk it's a true backstory, whereas the Incredible Hulk, you just kind of get brief like flashbacks within the previews.
So kind of like thinking like they're like kind of like the same thing, basically.
Well, just like
Or it's like a lead-in, basically.
it's just kind of like a lead-in, because the Incredible Hulk starts out with Bruce in South America at like pretty much everything that happened in the Hulk already happened.
So it almost mirrors the ending then. I can kind
kinda.
of see that actually. That's actually I never really thought about it like
Because
that.
like with the ending of Hulk, like he's in
He's in South America pretending to be like a doctor.
yeah.
And he that's like where they do the line where he's like, "You're making me angry. You won't like me when I'm angry."
Yeah.
I'm like, really? This is where you put the like? I remember actually, even when I was a little kid, I was like, "Oh, fuck you, putting that line in there. You didn't earn that." Like,
Like I actually didn't think about that. That's actually kind of clever, honestly.
Yeah.
it's kind of clever, but raises a lot of weird questions
Oh,
because,
for
like,
sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
but
So it's always nice to headcanon though.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. I like. I mean, granted, when I say I like him as Hulk, and I gotta prefer him as Hulk, it mostly because like I feel like Mark Ruffalo doesn't really get Banner sometimes. Like I feel like he's just kind of I don't know. It's weird. Like I like him, but like I don't know. Like I don't think he gets the I'm a tortured man who has to keep this beast inside me a lot of the times.
I think it was more.
Granted, I loved him in Avengers. Like that.
Yeah, I think the first Avengers movie really captures that, and then Endgame you kind of see it more when he's like Professor Hulk, because like, well, I stopped treating him like he was a monster, and then like put two together, and then like
put the brains and the brawn together.
and then like even when they time travel, he's like, ugh, he's like not smashing stuff. Like he understands, like that was just like a dark time type of deal.
Yeah, although admittedly, I loved Hulk and Thor Ragnarok, but that was just because like they got him in the World Breaker outfit, and B, I love that movie to pieces because it's probably the best Thor movie too.
Oh, for sure.
Like I love the shit out of that. That and Jeff Goldblum's in it, and I can't help it. I stand good Jeff Goldblum. It's just who I am as a person.
I really liked Jennifer Connelly as Betty. I feel like they didn't know what to do.
They
with
gave her one character trait.
They have the problem that it seems every early 2000s superhero movie has, and it's that
they don't
know what to do with the love interest. Like even as much as I love Kirsten Dunst as MJ, they have that same problem.
Well, here it's worse because they give her one character trait. I have daddy issues.
I have daddy
That was
issues
like
because
the-
daddy's
like-
in the military.
So bad.
Yeah, like
Also, I have nightmares.
also I have
About Bruce
nightmares.
choking the shit out of me.
And he's like, I would never hurt you. Cut to him hurting her later. I'm
Yeah,
like,
I was
what
like,
the
oh.
fuck?
Yeah,
Why not just put, like, especially because like he doesn't hurt her as the Hulk.
Yeah, it's
Like that was one that like the whole point of him and Betty is that no matter what, he won't hurt Betty.
Yeah, which, without looking at the script, like I don't really know what she had to work with, but I feel like you can tell she's trying.
You know.
But like the whole middle of the movie, it just kind of feels like she's like kind of like disinterested with the whole movie.
Yeah.
I think she's tired of just the repetitive scenes she has. Of just I hate my father. I don't trust my father. I hate my father. I don't trust my
I'm in the
father.
car watching this fight, and I'm not saying jack shit the whole time.
Yeah,
Like-
I don't even understand why she was in the car during the entire fight. I would like driven off.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, she got in the car and turned it on. At first, I'm like, "Are you gonna ram one of the dogs?"
Yeah.
Well,
Which apparently Ang Lee attracted her to the role. Apparently, is what happened.
oh,
Which apparently which I loved fucking Sam
Oh,
Elliott.
Sam Elliott.
Sam Elliott's
Yeah,
great in this
so-
movie. Like
so awesome.
he's just playing him.
I like him, but like
And they even mentions it in here. I'm glad it got brought up in the wiki article because he reminds me of like the way he plays Betty's father. Really reminds me of how he plays Sergeant Major Plumley in We Were Soldiers. It's like the same fucking thing.
I like him and dislike him because like The problem is, I know Thunderbolt Ross in the comics, and Thunderbolt Ross in the comics is just an insufferable asswad.
I was about to say, is he an asshole in the comics?
Well, he legitimately became Red Hulk because he wanted to kill Bruce. Like, at this point, he wants to kill him. Like no matter what, like the Avengers, like, no, we can help him. And Thunderbolt, like I actually was surprised in Avengers that the missile sent to New York wasn't by Thunderbolt Ross. I was expecting him like, no, Hulk's there and he brought these aliens to Earth. Launch the nukes.
Yeah.
Mr. President, I need those launch guns.
Like the only father who's a bigger asshole is Lois's dad in Superman, who also has a hate on for Superman because he's banging his daughter. No, like General Lane is.
I was gonna say Howard Stark in the comics.
He is.
I've always heard he's an asshole.
I don't know. I'm not really. I
might be misquoting, so like don't take what I'm saying.
I mean,
like,
Grant, I think he's like he is in the movie where he kind of like didn't pay much attention to Tony, which is hilarious. I love how like in the movies they always call him Tony. Like he's almost like he's called Tony by his friends, but most of the time they would just call him Anthony because his real name is actually Anthony Stark.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, Tony is short for that. So.
Yeah, well, but like so I do think he's great. My problem is I feel like they make him too nice in places.
Yeah.
Because, like he legitimately just wants Hulk dead. Like, he's the reason why Iron Man actually built the Hulkbusters in the comic, because he actually, like, ordered Bruce to build them.
And apparently, Elliot accepted the role without reading the script. Being too excited to work with Ang Lee, he also researched Hulk comic books for the part.
Yeah. I mean...
So I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I like when I hear that, is that the actors actually went and, like... It's kind of like how we talked about briefly with Ghost Rider. Nick Cage is actually like a really big comic guy.
Yeah.
So like he
to the point where like whenever you know he's getting a new marriage, you know he's selling his comic books.
Yeah.
He actually inflates the collector's market.
Yeah. So like, I don't know. It shows to me like there's like a level of dedication to the role. Is that you're willing to like kind of like do your research, you know, cross your T's and stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of like I'm pretty sure Willem Dafoe did the same thing for when he played Green Goblin. I mean, and that turned out fantastic.
Yeah.
So
like Heath Ledger when he did Joker.
Yeah.
Like,
well, and to like add on to like Adam with the comic version of Thunderbolt Ross, like this is the first instance where Thunderbolt meets Hulk. So like him not really being much of an asshole at first, like.
It kind of makes sense.
It does, sense. Yeah.
And then, like, in 2008's Incredible Hulk, it just makes even more sense why he's like, we gotta kill him. Like, just sign up for all this, like, illegal drug testing. Like, this super soldier serum hasn't been tested yet. We're gonna give it to you. And then it's like, oh, let's give you some gamma radiation as well.
But yeah, because they go with the ultimate version of Hulk's origin a little bit. Because, like, in the Ultimate Universe, the Hulk was actually a byproduct of them trying to recreate the super soldier formula.
Yeah.
Whereas in the original comics, we were trying to beat the commies to the gamma bomb, and then a Russian spy sabotaged it.
Yeah.
Can you imagine why they didn't go with that version?
Yeah.
But yeah, I do get your points, Brian. It's someone who like that's the only thing my knowledge of Thunderbolt. I was just like, wow, he's a lot nicer.
Yeah. And I mean, we also got to bring up, you know, we get our Stan Lee cameo in that. And also, I don't know if you guys spotted this or not. Lou Ferrigno's in this, too. He's a security guard. Yeah. I noticed that. I was like, oh, hey.
He's a security guard in all of them. Like, he's a security guard in the 2008 one as well.
Yeah, so it's like there's just thing that they got to get him in there, you know?
Yeah, because he loves being the Hulk. It was like one of his proudest moments.
Well, like, he didn't have to talk. Like, his speech impediment didn't, like, come out.
Didn't hamper him.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's deaf.
Yeah.
It's funny how, like, I don't know why, but this reminded me of that. I'm reading a book on Superman right now. I mentioned it in the last video we did. I got to the part where they're talking about the Reeves movies, and it's mentioning who tried out for it, and it has a whole list.
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger tried out for it and said, my accent fucked me over. Yeah, I'm like, that doesn't fair? Yeah. It doesn't surprise me.
I mean, it's probably better than
Robert Redford. I'm like, oh god, that wouldn't have worked at all. No. That would have been fucking terrible.
He does best the first guy they picked for Marty and Back to the Future.
Steve McQueen was
Really?
They asked Steve McQueen, which I actually knew that because I read a bio on McQueen.
Mm-hmm.
He turned it down because he thought he just wasn't interested in it.
Huh. Wow. That would have been a very different.
I'll have to go home and like send you a picture of the list because there's some big fucking names on there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, because
Neil Diamond tried out
Yeah, 'cause,
for
like,
it. I'm
I
like,
forget, like,
Neil
every-
fucking Diamond.
Because like Mario Puzo was writing the script for this movie originally, so like of course we were like, yeah, I want to be in on this.
Yeah.
And he did Godfather. Of course I want to be in on this.
Yeah, just all kinds of crazy shit. So.
But did they say who the asshole conglomerate guy was that gets?
Yeah, Josh Lucas as Glenn Talbot.
I have no idea who that is. If he's like someone in the Marvel universe, I have no clue who the fuck he is. Like all I could
He shows up real early. First appearance, The Tales to Astonish numbers issued 61, November 1964. He's a close compatriot to General Ross.
Okay. Like I said,
Oh, that
He
was
was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I didn't know that, but I need to watch Agents of
That was
S.H.I.E.L.D.
the suit guy that was played by the Sweet Home Alabama husband.
Is it really?
Yeah, that's.
Oh my God, it is him. I remember thinking the whole movie, who the fuck is this dude? I've seen him somewhere.
Jake from
It's the
Sweet
dude
Home
from
Alabama.
It's the dude from Baby. God damn! I knew I'd seen him somewhere. I couldn't remember.
Speaking of that,
Mom loves that fucking
Like,
movie.
I just
What else is he in? I'm looking his filmography
this
up.
movie is like such a like guilty pleasure for me because of how bad it is, and just seeing him have a fucking hard on
yeah.
the entire time, just like fucking over Bruce, is so funny.
He's an American Psycho.
Yeah,
My-
I just saw that recently. I was like, oh hey,
You like Huey Lewis in the news?
Dude, the way he dies, that's probably one of the worst camera effects where it shows the explosion and it shows
Yeah.
like it like
oh my! It looks
no
hokey
that,
as
that
fuck.
oh my
Yeah.
God that
this whole movie looks hokey
like
as fuck.
I'm like people like
Like, how did this look worse
I
than
know, dude.
fucking?
So bad.
How did this look like this bad?
Well,
like this,
because-
that's worse than like the CGI skeleton shot in Raimi's Spider-Man
yeah.
when they like
oh
disintegrate.
God, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
but at least with like Spider-Man,
99.8.
it's an actual
it's all-
costume.
yeah.
It's not a CGI character. Like you're trying, especially with this version, it's the tallest version that has been made yet. Like I think
Really, he's taller than like the Hulk in Ragnarok because
Yeah.
he was pretty tall in
no,
Ragnarok.
like this one he stands at like 9.5, like 10 feet tall, and then like every other movie he's just slowly like AT&T bars. Like the climbs of height.
Oh man, they're
Oh man, it's midget Hulk.
they're lowering
Yeah.
they're lowering his weight like they do Pikachu in every anime.
Yeah.
Yo, I want them to bring back thick Pikachu.
We all want them to bring back thick Pikachu.
Thick ass Pikachu.
Yeah.
We need all Lord he coming Pikachu.
Oh Lord, he coming.
But yeah, like, and of course we have to talk about Nick Nolte as fucking David Banner. Oh my God.
Which, according to Wiki, he was sold on the role because Ang Lee said it's like a Greek tragedy. That was what sold him. I'm like, oh
rough.
man.
Oh, don't.
God,
Oh, what?
no.
So you're telling me like you're trying to imply that Bruce has a fucking Oedipus complex?
I didn't need that image, but thanks.
Oh, well, to be fair,
Thanks for that.
there has been references to that because like eventually Bruce does kill his dad, but
No.
no, I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm just,
No.
Yeah.
but like, oh my God, Nick Nolte is so fucking bad in this movie.
I just
Half the time, like when he was on screen,
yeah.
I had to crank my fucking volume up because I'm like,
Yeah,
dude,
he's
talk.
So quiet.
Speak the fuck up.
And that scene at the end when like
Then he starts screaming at the end. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
shit, turning my fucking volume down. I'm like, oh wait, it's like 4 in where I gotta turn the volume down. I'm like, what the fuck, man?
oh my God.
I'm watching DVD, so I can't. I'm so used to Blu-ray where I can flip up the menu while it's playing, kick my subtitles on.
Yeah.
Here, I was like, I don't want to go back to the menu and click them because I don't know where I'm gonna end up.
Yeah.
Like I don't know where I'm at.
Well, because like whenever we watch movies for reviews, I always put the subtitles on just so I know exactly what they say.
Yeah.
Because like I'm like I have to at least I don't want to mistake some line, and then like we get fucking railed in the comments. Oh, he said this.
You guys are fucking clueless. Man of Steel's the best DCEU. This guy, did you ever hear about this? This dude ran at us in the comments.
What?
About Wonder Woman 84. We did a trailer react. You can't find it anymore because I deleted it because I ended up blocking the guy.
Oh.
Because I was like, oh good, this guy's gonna follow us to different videos now and do this. But like, He literally talked about like me and Adam were fucking clueless and that
Because we didn't know who fucking Cheetah was in that. I'm like, it's not like she's.
which it's like it's a trailer react. We went to it blind.
I knew based off the character name, but after watching the movie, I was like, what the like?
Well, it's like I like to go into trailers like not reading anything because I want it to be a genuine react.
Well, I just
which
knew
is
from
like
previous
which
watching
this is like what
previous
it
things.
was and like. Oh my god, this guy wrote us like 4 paragraphs writing about how fucking clueless we were and shit. And I'm like, goddamn, dude. Like, then he got mad if we said Man of Steel blew ass because I think that movie's fucking terrible.
It kind of ruined Henry Cavill for superhero movies, and
which sucks. I kind of like him.
Well,
as
you know,
I want to see him in a non Zack Snyder written film.
Well, yeah, but he.
Just watch The Witcher.
But he was.
I need to watch that.
He was a gift because everyone masturbates to him while watching that show.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Like,
Man, woman.
The most
Also, he
paused scene
fucking
in
plays
that movie.
Skyrim on the PC like a Chad.
Yeah.
He's like, I remember like there was an interview where they're asking like Xbox or PlayStation, and he's like. PC. I'm like, oh, you a Chad, huh?
No, he was
you
a
modding the fuck
He
out
was
of
a Chad
Skyrim. I
because
know
he's
you
like,
are.
I'm not fucking shaving my mustache for you, Snyder. You're gonna have to CG that out.
Oh, dude.
You're gonna have to live with it.
That was all because he was in all for Mission Impossible.
Yeah, but like no, I love it.
he was in
I love it because let's be honest, we all know it's because he's like, I'm not fucking dignifying you. I'm
yeah,
getting
for
shit
sure.
because of you, Snyder.
Well, like, I just went, like, why not just give him a beard and
Yeah,
actually make it, like...
Especially because he had a beard when he came back.
Yeah.
In Rain.
I wanted to see him with the
Superman.
mullet, personally.
Oh my fucking god.
Partying
No, because
back.
then if they ever do Nightwing, they're like, we got to give Nightwing the mullet too. I'm like, no, I don't.
do it.
No, because it's not enough. Batman the animated series has to give him that fucking mullet. I'm like, oh god.
That was my favorite character in Batman.
Well, no, I love him in it, but like,
Mine was Barbara.
no, because like he has to have that mullet because
Yeah.
well, that's what he had. I'm like,
Yeah.
I want a disco wing. I wanted that costume.
I mean, I want Disco Wing too. Obviously,
Everybody wants disco wing.
Yeah.
Everybody wants Disco Wing.
Some of that Grayson ass and that fucking.
No, what we need is
fucking suit.
we need a fight between him and Roy where they're half dressed in their costumes, where Dick's costume top is there and he's wearing pants over the regular. No, that's actually an issue where him and Roy like because at one point Roy was working for Checkmate.
Yeah.
Roy Harper, for those I'm talking about like Speedy / Arsenal for those of you who don't know who I'm talking about watching. And there's literally a scene where like he's mad at Dick because Dick doesn't want to let the Titans join up with Checkmate to stop this alien invasion. Don't leave that out. I like it leave it out so I don't drain the battery. But yeah, like this movie. I like.
Yeah.
Well, let's try to get back where we were. We
Yeah,
kind of
just-
deviated, but like you said, my main gripes with the movie, you know, because like we're gonna dig too much into the plot because otherwise we'll be here like
It's
an
hard
hour
to really
and a half.
dissect the plot too.
Well, and,
'cause
like,
it's
whenever
so
we do we explain plots, we're here for like an hour and a half. So like my main gripes to the cinematography was like it was like 50-50, like 50% of the time stunning, like looked good.
Yeah.
Like I love some of the long shots they do, or like you know, like when you had the desert landscape, or like just looking out in like the horizons.
Yeah.
Very beautiful cinematography.
yeah.
And then again, you get the boxes and shit,
Yeah.
or like.
Or whenever he's
fucking
angry
weird
and Hulk's out, it's just like
The weird,
the camera shaking.
yeah,
like,
the weird fucking fade outs. I'm like, oh, this is hurting my eyes.
Yeah.
No, like it's like then like it takes way too long to get through his origin. That takes like half a fucking hour, or at least it feels
Well,
that
like,
way.
They
It
really
just
should have
keeps-
cut some shit for
It
pacing.
just keeps slamming, like how torn up he was about his mom dying, which like obviously that would fuck anybody up, but it's just like
I didn't realize.
Oh,
he was
hey.
I didn't realize he was
Yeah.
Batman.
Yeah, it's like, oh hey, you forgot about it within the first 5 minutes of the movie. Let's do it again.
Let's do it again,
and
again.
It's
Oh my
just
God.
like, oh my god, like
No,
I get
like-
it.
Then the fact that they have to tie in that like Ross has known Bruce and his family since like the beginning.
Yeah, and it's
Which
just
was
like,
not the case.
Yeah,
Well, I know Bruce knew Betty, but like I don't think Ross really knew him until he became the Hulk.
yeah, and that's where like I was saying before, like you don't see him being that like, oh, Hulk has to die.
Yeah.
Until towards the end of the movie, but even then he's just like, just let him go. like, Okay.
My daughter's all torn up because of this
Like,
shit.
just let him go. But we're gonna put Betty under constant surveillance, and so we know if he shows up to see her again,
fucking,
we can
fucking
murder him.
Daddy Dearest kind of level shit right here.
Yeah, no, I'm like that, or like the fact that like there's certain parts of this that don't get resolved, like Betty's dream.
Yeah.
We never get
that whole storyline just
or like the ice,
disappears.
like the disappearing, like her dad disappearing for the ice cream. I'm like,
Yeah.
I was
what
like,
is that?
yeah, it's like they pick up plot points and then just dump them.
Yeah, or like the fact we keep getting flashbacks to when him and Betty were dating, and now they're not. I'm like, why not just have him still be dating?
Or like the dude who's trying to steal him away, like steal Betty away from him.
Yeah.
I'm like, he keeps just showing up and like out of nowhere, and I'm like, dude, I keep forgetting you're in this.
Yeah, like
fucking
he
movie.
shows up when Bruce is under house arrest. I'm like, how the fuck do you even know he's here?
Yeah, or then he shows up like all in a cast and shit. I'm like, he would show up and be like, oh yeah, I forgot you're here too. I forgot.
And he tortures him in the prison. I'm like, why are you doing that? He's gonna Hulk out and fucking murder you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like they do that.
The Hulk dog.
Oh my god, the fucking poodle.
Yeah, the
fucking
dogs.
poodle.
Like-
No, okay.
like
I can forgive the pit bull and like the Doberman.
Yeah, like
But he has a poodle!
The two actual like vicious dogs.
Look pretty good.
And then you have a poodle.
And it's just like it looks like just a cracked out
A poodle.
Looks like some shit a grade score.
Yeah, it's just so bad.
A poodle.
We get it, Dad. It's a poodle.
Yeah.
Why not have two Dobermans or like a fucking husky?
Yeah,
Like
just-
any other dog.
My name is Ang Lee and I'm an heart.
But no, we had to have a fucking poodle.
Well, like it's just
Well, no, because it's a poodle. Like it's more harmless than the other dogs.
yeah, no.
So let's make it like this giant monster. I'm like, no.
But
just
it
fucking
lasted longer than the other two.
Yeah.
It didn't even fight barely.
Yeah, it didn't.
Oh my god, I fucking hate that
Like
poodle.
I liked it because you get to see the Hulk fight something, but I don't like it because it just adds so many more questions. Like the whole reason why Bruce Banner and the Hulk is so interesting is because it was a freak accident that never should have, like Bruce never should have survived, and
Yeah.
they've mentioned that so many times. And then it's like, oh hey, we could just gamma ray everything.
Yeah,
Dogs,
especially never mind the fact that like
himself, like
yeah, never mind that
his
when they
dad.
tested it on frogs, it
Yeah.
like fucking blew up the frogs.
Because I meant to bring this up too. Like I kind of like how they kind of borrowed from Raimi again. I know we brought Raimi up so much, but they kind of just go in tandem.
Well,
with this. They're a year
were
apart.
Yeah.
But like they kind of go the Raimi route where they take the origin and they update it a little bit, you know. And
Yeah.
like, here, like I just don't think it worked.
No.
Maybe it's just because I'm a comic guy and like I'm so used to that. The first Hulk comic I ever read was when this movie came out. You know, do you remember the Kraft mac and cheese promotion? You got the comic
Yeah.
with the Kraft
Yeah.
shit. That was the first Hulk comic I ever read. So like that was what I was used to. I was like, oh, okay, cool. It's like you know, he gets hit by a gamma bomb and like.
Yeah.
Here I'm just like, okay, like it's more updated. It's realistic.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't think it works as well.
Well, then like
It doesn't seem tragic to me.
well, like
No.
we had
Like
to,
he was
we had,
willing to set, like I don't know, something about it just doesn't click for
well,
me.
like he had to like we had to have it that like his dad had been experimenting on him like
Yeah,
before
like-
then, which is what
Yeah.
allows him to survive the gamma radiation.
Like it just,
Kind of like the Amazing Spider-Man, like
oh my
Peter's
god, with
genes.
fucking
Oh,
Richard
yeah.
Parker.
Spider- yeah.
That
Oh, no,
video,
we're
that
doing a video-
yeah,
yeah.
that video's not up yet, but we did
Review
review
this
both of those
with
recently.
Doug, and man,
Adam flipped the fuck out at one point because of these movies.
no, mostly because a fucking crane dad. Because no, don't
Yeah, don't even start with
start
that shit.
with crane
Anyways.
dad.
But yeah, like something about it, I don't know. It just for me it didn't work. Again, maybe that might just be my personal like opinion and stuff,
like,
and like what I'm used to seeing. But like it just didn't.
Then,
feel
like,
right.
of all the villains they could have done for this film, why Absorbing Man? Like, I know he's popular, but
I
like,
liked Absorbing Man because everybody would have been like, "Oh, Abomination! Oh, the leader! Oh,
well, to be
But
fair,
like
I
even
feel
then, it's absorbing it, and like we don't really ever see him do anything.
Yeah, like
Well, yeah, that would be my
he's only
argument.
like actually absorbing man for like what the last
like
25, 30 minutes
yeah,
of the
but
movie.
even then, like you said,
When he shows up at Betty's house, I was
Yeah.
like, oh, he's gonna kidnap Betty. And we're gonna
Yeah.
get this big fucking epic knockout
yeah,
brawl.
The fight was
doesn't
The
happen.
fight was 2 minutes long. You could barely see it.
He was underwater.
yeah.
Yeah, oh my god, that just like absorbing man would not go into the water just because it's water. He always picks, like comics. He's always carrying a wrecking ball.
Yeah, like
He's part of
yeah.
the wrecking crew. Like, and he always grabs something that is hard, not like, oh, I'm gonna be the dirt.
Yeah,
like Sandman or Hydro Man. It's just like, no, he always grabs steel, bricks, stone.
I think for a while he was actually,
Something
partly
tangible.
adamantium because he had absorbed some of the
Well,
adamantium
yeah.
from like Wolverine.
Well, and even in the one Avengers TV show, he actually absorbed Mjolnir, which was even more hilarious because Thor's like, oh, well, if you're Mjolnir, like, you literally see him, like, fly across, like, he
that's
calls
actually-
absorbing man to him. It's
Wow,
just like,
he actually
grabs him
managed,
and throws
he
him.
actually
It's
managed to
hilarious.
absorb
Yeets
the Uru metal that's inside of Mjolnir. That's actually really cool.
Yeah.
I've never known he did that.
Yeah.
I know
mean,
he's absorbed adamantium, and I think even vibranium.
Well, yeah, and it's just like the character itself is so interesting, but like, yeah, we could. I'm glad they did Absorbing Man because seeing Abomination in 2008 was just phenomenal.
Yeah,
even though it was like a really weird looking version, like I'm okay with.
I mean, if
that.
your Abomination's like, I still look weird because he's an
Oh,
Abomination.
yeah,
so,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah.
But I mean,
I think
no, I get what you
I
mean.
think a big deal with this movie, and I think you guys will agree with me when I bring this up, is that problem with this movie is it can't decide who the villain should be.
well, like,
Is it General Ross? Is it this other dude?
Yeah.
Is it the dad? Like
the
they
dogs?
can't-
Is
yeah,
it
the dog.
Hulk? Is it like
They can't
just-
pick
yeah.
who the fucking villain
Yeah.
is.
Honestly,
I think that's partially, again, a little like maybe a different choice of editing would have probably
Yeah.
helped it. It's just
I think that's also why
There's
this movie
too
goes
much
on.
going
It's
on.
why it goes on so
yeah,
long.
it's just
For me, I think the biggest problem for me is it focuses way too much on trying to be psychological and being about like what makes Bruce tick.
yeah.
It's like Godzilla films. Yeah, I like them when they talk about like the damages of nuclear radiation and the dangers of us constantly like
the hollow
damaging
Earth, the hollow Earth theory.
You shut the fuck up. I'm talking about the Japanese stuff.
Yeah, the hollow Earth.
That's like a
Atlantis.
that's like a whole other. That's a whole other.
I'm gonna
episode.
literally stick my fingers up your nose and bowling ball you across this pavement.
No, listen, I gotta put up with all y'all when we go see the movie. Y'all will give me this.
First of all, it's actually gonna be pretty good because it's mostly gonna be Godzilla fighting Big Monkey.
Dude, 18 minutes on the aircraft carrier. That's how long that fight scene is gonna be.
Yeah, like
Finally, like
It'll only be
every
worth
other-
it if Cody comes and we get to watch his
Yeah.
monkey get fucking.
oh no,
wrecked.
yeah, Cody's rooting for Kong to win. I'm like, guys,
what?
We are
No.
dealing with a nuclear fucking dinosaur
Dinosaur.
here.
I couldn't believe in the original Godzilla versus
Yeah.
Kong he'd
Nuclear
win.
dinosaur, literal fucking monkey.
Yeah.
And like in Godzilla versus Kong, he gets powerful by absorbing electricity. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh fuck off.
Oh,
They're gonna give him.
Like,
this-
Kong-
they're gonna
yeah.
give him fucking Stormbreaker.
Well,
Yeah, they're giving him
well,
Storm-
pretty much. He gets a fucking axe.
Yeah.
Like in the
He's got
trailer.
a gun.
Yeah. it's just like-
You were never one of us. You were never even a king. Must save Mothra. Where'd you say that name?
If that happens, I'm gonna get up. Like Adam, I'll see you in a car. It was good seeing you.
No, I know
I'm
I know
outta here.
Mothra's probably gonna
I'm
show
going
up
to
in
the
that film
arcade.
because like you can't
Yeah,
Mothra can't die.
Well, they are. We're getting so.
But
we have these
we
tangents.
do this. It's all
This is
good.
part of the
It's all
show.
good.
It's
like,
part of the show.
like they even teased like Mothra was already an egg at the end of
Yeah.
King of the Monsters. So
Well, that Mechagodzilla is they've already teased Mechagodzilla when they had the head of Ghidorah in King of the Monsters.
Have you seen any updated trailers within the past 5 days?
I'm not.
Okay.
I already
Go home.
knew Mechagodzilla
Go
was
home.
in this movie. Like,
Look it up.
They literally just now revealed Mechagodzilla. Even though like in the first major trailer, within the like literally a split second, you see its head.
Yeah.
And then like because they
it-
also released the toy line in Japan last year. It's just like
Yeah.
it's like okay, I was fine with Godzilla Kong with an axe, which I was like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Well, you have to give him
And then-
something for
Yeah,
God's sake.
and then it's like then like a
Tree.
one of the new Titans.
Just a tree.
Yeah, one of the new Titans, like the Alpha Skullcrawler, and then it's like Mechagodzilla. It's like, wait, what?
I mean, like, yeah, I do. I admit it's probably gonna be really packed, but like I kind of don't care because it's Godzilla.
Well, yeah, I'm fine with it.
You should come see that with us, Brian. When
You
we
should
go
come
see
see
it.
it.
Yeah,
Godzilla with us.
I think I'll
There's
probably
gonna be like
shoot
7 of us
north
in this
for the
car.
weekend, just because of my work schedule.
We're gonna have to
So-
put the back seat down and
We're gonna
have
have to put the
hash.
backseat down. Everyone's just gonna have to
Yeah.
fucking be like
Everybody
squished
crowd
up in the
around
back.
the lamp
Yeah,
like it's a
yeah.
Crowd around the
campfire. S'mores.
Yeah.
But like would you agree that like I think this movie deals like wait it's too much about like the psychology of the Hulk.
It can't
Yeah.
pick what kind of movie it wants to be.
But like with
Yeah.
with Hulk, you need to have him smash stuff. Like he can't just be like
Yeah.
the angry beast dealing with his rage.
Hulk would be the easiest hero to ever make a
Yeah.
fucking video game about. Just make the
Well, actually,
that
it's
one
funny you say
I
that.
have.
Yeah.
It's just a game about smashing.
It's funny you
shit.
say that. The movie tie into this was fucking phenomenal because
Yeah.
it's just Hulk smashing shit.
Yeah.
Because I have the tie-in for Incredible Hulk.
Yeah,
so.
like
the PS3 game.
yeah, like it's easy to do because you Hulk, you smash shit.
Yeah.
Like Hulk's strongest there is, and he
Yeah.
fucking smashes
It's
shit.
not like you actually have to
Get a good
get
storyline.
Spider-Man web swinging or Iron Man flying.
Yeah, he just breaks
Yeah.
shit. People have been breaking shit in video games since
man.
its creation.
You say that, man, but you ain't never played the PS3 Iron Man game.
I had the PS2 Iron Man. game.
Listen, have you ever seen the PS3 one and how complicated it is to fly?
Yeah, dude, that's
I
why I
know.
stopped playing it on the PS2 because I was like, I can't do anything.
It's even worse on the
Oh,
PS3.
jeez.
Like you like
I
what is
want
it,
an
left
Iron-
analog stick. Like
I want a fucking
I'm
good
gonna
Iron
send you a
Man
video
game
just to
so
show you
bad.
how
Oh,
fucked
yeah,
it is.
like, it's
Because I'm an
just-
Iron Man.
I can't even play that shit.
Because like I'm
It
the
is
Iron
so
Man
bad.
guy.
Yeah.
I'm the Iron Man guy, and I want a good fucking Iron Man game.
Yeah.
And they never like I don't
Me as the
care if he
Spidey guy,
flies.
oh, I got all the good games.
Yeah. I mean, if,
I mean, yeah, he's got good games. But man,
I'll even defend the TASM ones. I'm sorry.
no, like for every good Spider-Man game, there's like 7 Web of Shadows.
true.
What are you talking? Web of Shadows is a great game.
About that.
Oh, nothing like making Spider-Man super edgy by him getting absorbed by the symbiote and the symbiote Wolverine. Oh, that's great. Wait, am I thinking of the right Spider-Man game when I say Web of Shadows? That's the one where like the symbiote like possesses everybody.
I think you're thinking of friend or foe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Okay,
Which-
friend or foe.
That game ain't very good. I'll give you
Okay,
that.
maybe I am thinking. I am willing to admit I'm thinking.
Maybe
of
it
the
is
wrong.
web. I'd have to go home and look it up.
Because I know there's like one where like everyone gets like a fucking symbiote. I'm like, oh great, I'm glad the fucking Planet of the Symbiotes thing got fucking predicted this far fucking back.
Yeah, but it just feels like he didn't know what the fuck kind of a movie he wanted to make.
Well,
he thought he could like do them
it's
all, you know,
yeah,
kind of
it's
like
just
slam them
so-
into one.
so off. And one of the, like nitpicking thing is like the color of the Hulk was
Oh, this neon fucking
really
green.
really green.
Well, I mean,
Like honestly, like
I think it's because they wanted to make him really look like the comics. Because in the comics, sometimes he really is like.
Well, yeah,
like, super green.
I want a
totally
gray Hulk.
understand. Yeah, I understand that. It's just like it makes the scene from I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, but Click. Like,
Yeah.
with Adam Sandler, and he gets like the universal remote that actually controls. Like,
Yeah, I've
his
seen that.
life.
Long
And,
ass
like,
time ago, but I've seen
Like
it.
he's sitting in his car and he's playing with the color, and like he turns into like Barney, and then he like goes green and he starts acting like the Hulk. Like that's the color of the Hulk in Hulk.
Okay,
Like,
fair.
it's so just out like eyesore green.
You know, they had to go so green because if not, he has to sell peas.
yeah.
Oh, green giant.
Right now we're getting copyright fucking striked on that.
What the fuck are they gonna say? Oh, you can't make jokes about the Jolly Green Giant.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, don't get mad. Be mad more at
I
Colton. He
made this
doesn't eat your
Game
vegetables.
Boy out of cardboard so Nintendo could send me a cease and desist.
We're not dealing with fucking Nintendo. I doubt the fucking Jolly Green Giant's gonna care. I'm making a fucking reference to him.
Shows up, bitch, you thought. But
Well, good. I hope
Yeah,
so.
they-
I'm gonna fucking throw down with
and,
the
like,
fucking
I-
Jolly Green Giant.
like when I first watched it again, I couldn't decide if the green was like they did that on purpose or if it was like that was kind of like a limitation of what they were working with.
Yeah, true.
But like I'm with you. Like some of the time in the movie, it looks pretty good. I want to say the night shots, it looks pretty good.
Well, that's also because it's dulled by the black.
And then when he's in the desert, I'm like, oh dear fucking
Why are they
Christ.
fucking missing him in the desert? He's like a
How the fuck you
like
miss?
sore thumb.
Well, and that was
Got a worse fucking KD than a noob in Black Ops.
Like the fucking stormtroopers in Star Wars have a better shot hit.
They really do.
My God.
I like the guys in the tank. The one tank, they're just like sinking in. They're like, oh shit.
Like that was one of the coolest scenes in my opinion. Just like that whole desert battle. You know, like you see him kind of just like jumping and then flash running and just like, you know, it plays more into the character because like he does have the super strength, but like nobody knows that like he actually has super speed.
Yeah.
I mean, apart from growing when he gets shot, that's, you know, I feel like it is fairly accurate as far as his powers go.
No, I thought so too because it really shows that like it's not just speed. He's literally just like super powerful, like in all aspects.
I like when he hits himself on the balls grip from the turret. I noticed that. I was like, oh, dude, why is that in there?
I love he just kept carrying the missile until it was time. He found a good target to throw it at. He just kept carrying it.
Like he bites the head off and spits it like completely clean. Just like, wait, that should have blown up, but I mean, hey, it was.
Rip your head clean off.
Really, the only other problem I had with the Hulk, I wish he talked more. Because I like it more when Hulk is like, Hulk, strongest there is. Like, he doesn't once say Hulk smash.
Him and Betty just got to stare at each other for like another 10 minutes and no dialogue. And like, please tell me I wasn't the only one that kept noticing that. Like, I'm like, fucking say something.
Yeah, that was like, with the progression of the Hulk.
God, it's the opposite of Nolan where he's got to beat me over the brain with a bat.
Yeah.
Like, do something.
But like the progression of the character, like actually talking, and then you get the slap on the face with Thor Ragnarok, and he sounds like a fucking 2-year-old.
I mean, that is like I do like Hulk when he does talk a little bit like that, not like.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying like Maestro, like
or he's gonna deliver me some fucking Plato Republic.
But yeah, he does talk a little bit more than that. Like
just. I don't care if you talk like third person, like Hulk thinks this,
or Hulk.
But like, I'm not saying, you know, like I'm not saying one-liners, you know, like Puny God. I'm just saying. Like,
I mean, I enjoyed Puny God when he said that.
Yeah, I did.
That was great.
But even seeing like the Avengers cartoons, like the more modern ones, like he's actually talking. Like it. Yeah. He's not stupid. Yeah. And they make him so stupid in the MCU. It's just like super frustrating, especially spending 2 years as the Hulk. Yeah, but yet we already know he can talk. Yeah, he's just like I said, he's talking like a 5-year-old.
It's like me being a Natasha fan and like they don't know what the fucking do with her. Yeah. And now that she's dead, now she gets a movie. I'm like, how does that fucking work?
Or me being a Rhodey fan and they just shit on Rhodey all the time.
They don't even.
Tony died and he didn't even fix my fucking legs with Extremis.
They don't even let him and Carol be a thing like it is in the comics.
Yeah. To be fair,
they don't seem like they like each other in the MCU.
Yeah.
Well, granted, there was a lot of shit going on when they met, so I'm willing to kind of chalk that up.
Well, don't worry,
the whole Brie Larson entering the MCU is just such a shit show as far as like the politics of like movies and stuff, like the interviews and things like that. Like nobody liked.
Well, just the fan.
Yeah, especially because like a lot of that was taken out of context.
Oh
like,
yeah.
But it was like a firestorm.
Yeah, it was just a bad.
I know to the point where like we had the shot where all the female Avengers teamed up, and everyone was like, "Oh!"
I thought that scene was fucking.
I thought it was good, but like now, it almost seems kind of cringy at some points. Like, well, how are you gonna get through all that? But like, dude, do we not realize who this bitch is? Like, she literally could have just done it.
I don't. My biggest thing is just the lazy writing near the end of that with. She can withstand him fucking headbutting her with the gauntlet, but he takes one fucking stone out of it, and like that's not even how that should work.
Yeah, like he has them all on the gauntlet.
Like that shouldn't have even worked.
There's just so many things like
that was that was like the only plot hole in that whole movie that pissed me off because I'm like, That made no fucking sense.
Yeah, but there's so many other things where you can just
Meanwhile,
say,
Adam's just sitting there like, why Tony gotta die?
Yeah.
Why Cap gotta be old? Why we gotta take my favorite Avengers and put
Why I
them
gotta
over
watch
there?
Natasha just fucking die? Like,
Oh my
why?
God. Yeah, no, even I was
Yeah.
like, fuck, man.
I feel like
I knew it was coming before you did. So I'm sitting there like, oh, Adam, you poor summer child.
No, oh my God.
I didn't like. I felt bad like ranking the Snap and Infinity War to that. The Snap and Infinity War was just such a tug, like so much more than Natasha dying in Endgame. It was just like
No, the snap in the first Infinity War was fucking rough.
oh, that's so
Like the part that gets me tearing up is when Rocket once again has to watch fucking Groot die. I'm like, nah, come on.
well the
I gotta
fact
kill Groot
that-
the second time.
Yeah, well, like Peter's death, like,
Oh my
being
God.
dragged out so much more than everyone
Oh,
else's.
Mr.
and
Stark, I don't feel so good.
Yeah, you're just like, oh shit, like
And then at least that got kind of ruined just because I saw all the fucking memes about I don't feel so good.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, SpongeBob, I don't feel so good.
Jeez.
I ate some chum.
Nah,
SpongeBob, I don't want to go.
it kind of reminds me once again, like your complaints with the MCU Hulk. It's just like, just how much of again, it all comes back to those legal rights.
Well, yeah, and like
Yeah.
if MCU would have had the legal rights to the Hulk, I think we would have gotten we actually would have gotten Planet Hulk.
Yeah.
We would have gotten World War Hulk. You know, like I mean, well, I don't know.
We kind of did with Ragnarok.
Well, yeah, we kind of get it then, but like
it's not the
Yeah,
whole
but it's not
package.
the
but
same.
if it was Worldbreaker Hulk when Thanos attacked,
Yeah.
there wouldn't have been a
No,
Thanos
like
attack.
yeah, when like we wouldn't have gotten the scene of Thanos just bodying Hulk.
Yeah,
like,
no,
Hulk would have.
been bodying Thanos.
Yeah, Hulk, if Hulk was Worldbreaker
What would have
angry,
done to
he-
him when he did the Loki in the first Avengers?
oh yeah,
movie.
no,
No,
he's,
like what Thanos did to Hulk would have done to
yeah,
Thanos.
like I'm pretty sure he would have ripped Thanos in fucking half.
oh, dude, it would have been so
Especially-
much more brutal.
Especially because like his friends were on that ship, like the Rock guy and
Korg and
yeah, Korg.
Meek.
Korg, like, because I thought Korg was dead during Infinity War, so I was like, I thought
Yeah.
Hulk would have been mad enough that like
Yeah.
Korg was dead, but
Yeah,
no.
and that was such like I like Korg, but like it was just I didn't need the comedy factor. Like
No, you didn't need Carl Urban Rock Monster Man.
No. Like I was fine with if they would have kept it like the Planet Hulk movie where it's like
Yeah.
voiced. I don't know if it was Kevin Michael Richardson that voiced him or not, but I know it was one of the few, or it might have been Phil Lamar that did it. But yeah, it's just I don't know.
It's kind of crazy to think of where Hulk is now compared to where you and I probably thought he was going to be in like
Oh yeah.
the distant, far off past of 2003.
I mean, to be fair, when I was a kid, like growing up in the '90s, I never thought we would actually ever get a Spider-Man film.
Most people said, if you had told people in '89, hey, you guys are going to get like a live action X-Men movie trilogy,
no.
they would have thought you were probably fucking insane.
If you would have even mentioned anything that was like
Yeah.
a hit trilogy, they would have thought
Probably in the '80s, you would have been like, "Oh yeah,
You
no,
heard-
superhero movies are gonna be the big thing." What, after fucking Howard the Duck? After Dolph Lundgren
you're-
Punisher?
Yeah.
Yeah, you heard of this guy Blade? Yeah, he's gonna have a fucking trilogy. He's gonna kick it all off. What are you on fucking crack?
Hell,
Yeah.
back in '89, oh yeah, Batman's gonna get a movie with Tim Burton. It's gonna be amazing. What the fucking Bam Biff Pow and the shark repellent
Yeah.
With Mr. Mom? What
with Mr. Mom as
the fuck are you
Batman?
on?
Yeah.
Everyone went to that theater. Let's go. You guys want to go see Batman? Come out of that theater.
They come out.
You
want
guys
to see it again?
Yeah.
Holy hell! You want to watch that one more time?
Yeah, that's my reference to when I watched Carl Urban's Dread. Hey guys, let's go see Dread 3D. You guys want to go see Dread 3D again?
But I guess we've talked up for an hour and 8 minutes. Let's kind of wrap this up. So
Yeah, let's.
final ratings. I'm gonna out of 10. I'm gonna give it.
4.
I'm gonna give this a. I'm gonna be kind of generous. I think I'm gonna give this like 5 out of 10 gamma bombs. Like
A literal gamma bomb. Yes.
Yeah, emphasis on bomb.
yeah, bomb. I like parts of it. I like stuff that it tries to do, the delivery falls flat on his fucking face.
So there's parts to like, but
there's a good movie
overall,
in there.
Yeah, I think they definitely could have taken the 2 hours and whatever, 2
hours and 18 minutes.
Yeah, the 2 hours and 18 minutes and make it like a solid hour and a half. Even, an hour and a half. I think
an hour and like maybe 50 minutes or something.
Yeah, they could have just nailed it on the head with few complaints, and we wouldn't have gotten Ang Lee's Hulk.
Yeah.
But like I said before, it kind of just paved the way for what we have now. So it's kind of like a necessary evil type deal.
So what's your rate? Is your rating like 4 out of 10? Is that what it is?
Yeah, like a 3 or 4. Just.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to give this like a 3.
I
tried.
This might actually be the lowest rated, or like one of the lowest rated. I think this Dark Phoenix and Birds of Prey are probably these 3 are the lowest ones we got.
Because I'm usually pretty fair. Like I usually average out like a 5 or a 6, but
I mean,
man, I was so bored watching this
You
film.
can even ask him. Like, I pulled positives out of everything we watched. Like, I had positives out of Dark Phoenix.
Yeah.
This, like, I count 2. I count 2 things I like. That's about it. I count 2.
Like the cinematography. If you're not mad at the cinematography, you're just bored because it takes like
It just takes forever to have anything happen.
Yeah.
Like
that I give a shit about.
Yeah.
And it's incomprehensible thanks to the camera work and the cinematography.
And they try to make it interesting, but it just they do the opposite. They just bore you with it.
No, and like
time he turns into Hulk, I was like, oh man, I forgot I was watching a fucking Hulk movie.
Same. I was like,
shit, I thought I was watching like fucking the latest science drama on like NBC or some shit.
Yeah. I mean, granted, at least Betty in this didn't start fucking fighting sandbags to fucking wake me up by Evanescence. I'll give it that.
We gotta review Daredevil soon too.
Yeah. Oh.
I might. Which I actually have both.
Oh, if we review Daredevil, we have to fucking review Elektra. Oh, I don't wanna.
You're gonna fucking watch it.
I don't wanna. Oh.
You have to. It's our job.
I know it's our job. No, tell him about Elektra real quick. Why? Like I have it.
He has it. It's never been opened. It's got the Kmart sticker on it. His mom bought it for him, and
he bought it for me for Christmas, and I'm like, oh no.
And then he came into my house one day, and he's like, "Is that fucking Elektra on Blu-ray?" And he's like, "You bought it on," and he's like, "And it's still, you bought this brand new?" I was like, "Yeah, it only cost me $8."
You got ripped off. Unless it's fucking free, got ripped the fuck off.
Fun fact. You know what? You want to know how much Daredevil the theatrical cut cost? Like the director's cut cost?
If you say it's less than Elektra, if you say it's fucking less than
it was only $3.
Oh my god.
Why is Elektra more money? You know why? I'll tell you why. Because it's harder to find because no one's bought it. Like I bought Daredevil at Big Lots. Big Lots being the buyout store. So meaning a store had to fucking have had these. Because what else did I buy that day? I bought. Don't fucking do that. You probably got some stupid shit that you've spent money on. You shouldn't have. Don't even try me.
Yeah.
To be fair, I bought that Daredevil Blu-ray with the following. The first 3 X-Men movies. All 3 Fantastic Four movies, including the one that I don't want to talk about. Fucking The Wolverine.
Yeah.
Like, I bought all these in a lot. It's like, I'm telling you, it was that Big Lots. It was a buyout. The reason you'll never find Elektra at a buyout store is because that would involve someone having to fucking stock that shit in the first place.
Yeah, admittedly, I had to buy the fucking remake of RoboCop because we're gonna watch that at some point.
Oh.
No. Oh.
You want to join us for that one?
Yeah.
You want to? No, we can't let Brian meet only like the bad shit.
No, we'll get him in some good shit.
We will.
Fucking, we'll figure something. Blade, we can get him for Blade. Him and Cody.
We can watch
him with Blade.
We can watch him rip Cody to pieces because I know Cody actually defends fucking Trinity.
There's parts that I like, but yeah, it's.
I was born ready, motherfucker.
I like
we quote that at work. Like there was
Wesley Snipes is like.
The one day, like he said something to me, and I was like, "Motherfucker," and he's like, "Motherfucker." I like that. I'm like, "Don't you quote?" That actually started because he would do that to me. He would say motherfucker, and I would say, I like that. And he's finally like, what are you fucking quoting with that? And I'm like, I bring up the scene. He's like, is that fucking Blade Trinity? You're
all the
quoting
Blade movies.
Trinity?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I'm quoting Trinity.
But yeah, bottom line, guys, don't watch this. You have to watch anything. Watch the
TV show.
Watch like the TV show or Thor
2008
Ragnarok or Avengers.
Incredible Hulk.
2008 Incredible movie.
The
Like
Incredible Hulk. If anything to start.
or
The
like
Incredible Hulk.
fuck you watch
Avengers.
You watch Hulk versus Thor and Wolverine or
yeah, that was good.
World War Hulk.
Yeah.
You want to watch the 60s show where they just animate the comic.
Yeah.
Where they just cut that shit out and animate it.
Gamma radiate the ever-loving Hulk. Like, what the fuck was that? Oh man. Yeah, guys, I think that's gonna
There's
wrap.
not a mod for Fallout where you can be the Hulk. We'd be right at home. Think about
Which
it.
is weird because I know there's like
GTA to be the Hulk.
There's a mod for everything on GTA.
there's like a mod in like I think Skyrim where Wheatley from Portal will fall from the sky and you can carry Wheatley around.
The craziest mod I ever saw for Skyrim. You ready for this one? You're gonna love this. Hey, you like dwarven motorcycles? I'm like, why do the dwarves have fucking motorcycles?
Wait, that's the
Why
one that's
not?
weird to you? Not like the dragons are fucking Randy Savage?
Listen, listen.
Or like
That's
they're
the kind of shit I've come to expect from mods. If it ain't doing some whack shit like that, or like
not something
the
that
fucking-
actually makes sense. Like
actually, to be fair, I could see dwarves building
the funniest-
motorcycles. Now you mention it.
if I'm not expecting that, I'm expecting mods that fucking give the cats Samuel L. Jackson's face and he says motherfucker instead of meow. Like, that's the kind of stupid shit I expect.
yeah.
True.
The dwarven motorcycle. Somebody was being like they had the lore all typed up. I'm like, yo, you are trying way hard to explain this shit, and it don't need to be explained.
We're the sons of Gimli.
Actually, I take it back. The worst one was. You're gonna love this. They put RoboCop.
Wait, what?
They put RoboCop in Skyrim. I swear there's a RoboCop Skyrim mod, and they try to give it lore like he time traveled.
No,
like,
no,
how does that make any sense?
No, because like, oh my god, because thanks to Terminator versus RoboCop, he can time travel.
It's the same with the Terminator. There's a Terminator mod for Skyrim. I'm like, why is there all this shit? And I'm like, why isn't it just in Fallout?
That's
In
actually
Fallout, it would make sense.
because the sad part is that's the plot for how RoboCop gets into Mortal Kombat 11. He's brought in by like a Netherrealm portal or time travel. And then he gets turned to like super RoboCop and then decides I'm going to serve the law in all dimensions.
Yeah.
Because I'm actually, to be fair, it ends much happier than like any other story for Murphy. Like he actually gets his humanity back.
So, all right, guys, that's gonna do it for this episode. As always, I'm Average Joe Squad.
I'm Zangetsu 134.
Brian.
And as always, we ask you,
Remember the hyphen,
and take care.
and don't watch Ang Lee Hulk.
Seriously.
Yeah.
A poodle!
Don't watch it.